Hi there, guys. It's Mrs. Chappie. I'm here today to talk to you about how we're going to do class remotely for the next couple weeks and maybe a little bit beyond that. We'll see what happens. I am going to use this video to explain to you and your parents what it's going to look like in my classrooms as we're doing this remote learning. And I want you to know that you guys are not the only ones out there doing this. There are currently, are you ready for this number? You know how much I like to look at my statistics and look at current events. And as of 7 hours ago, there were 849 million students around the world. Listen to that number, 849 million students learning remotely. Now for you guys, you've been homeschooling, some of you all your life, some of you this is your first year, and so homeschooling is not a big deal to you, but these 849 million, they've never done it before, and they're kind of probably a little bit freaking out about it because it's different. You guys are ahead of the curve in that you've been doing this, learning at home for a while. While there are 849 million kids from 113 countries around the globe, that is a whole lot. In our country, the United States of America, we only have about a little over 300 million people. So to have 849 million kids home studying the way you guys have done for a while, it's kind of a big deal. In the United States of America, just another fun fact, you know how much I like that, you guys, there are 39 states right now where every public school is closed. And so all those 39 states have their kids homeschooling like you guys are. So you're kind of trailblazers in this, and that you've done it before. But this distance learning using a computer and interacting together like we will be over the next couple weeks, and again maybe a little bit beyond that, we'll see what happens, is totally new for those kids in those 39 states. The United States has 41 million kids not in class right now. And we only have about 50 million students as it is. So that's the bulk of everyone. States like California, another fun fact from Miss Chappie has, states like California, we have not officially closed all the schools in California, but 98% of the students are staying home homeschooling like you are right now. So while it's not official in California, it's almost every single person in California. So that's my little touching on my current events that I like to throw out at you. But the purpose of this video is not to give you my useless facts that my students are so used to hearing from me, but it's to tell you how we're going to be doing this remote learning. And we're going to be doing it a couple different ways depending on which one of my classes you're in. All classes will have some sort of video like this where I get to talk to myself and look kind of silly sitting here in my office. You guys get to see my office. A lot of you have heard about it. You've seen some of the fun stuff that I have on my shelves. It's kind of a mess. You get to see my kitty cat. All of my classes will have some video except for probably yearbook. And then some of the classes will be using something called Zoom. And Zoom's pretty cool in that you hook up to this video and we talk back and forth. And it's not just me and you, it's me and you and everyone. So on the video screen over here on the side, when we do Zoom, you'll see everybody's face, and then we can talk and interact just like I do. So I can call you out and I can say, hey, what do you think about this? Or tell me what economy is, and the same sort of things that we always do in class. So we'll be using these video recordings. We'll be using interactive Zoom. Some classes may use something called Kahoot. I'll explain that later. And I think that's how we're mostly going to do it. Now, how is that going to happen, you ask? Well, I'm glad you asked that. I have an explanation for you. Through this platform, I'm able to actually show you my video screen. And I'm going to show you how we get to what Mrs. Chappie's classes are going to be. So I have a website. It's History Rocks with Mrs. Chappie. Some of you probably recognize my little logo because it's on the front of all of your history and other enrichment class notebooks. And on this website, I have added a brand new tab for 2020 remote instruction. That's what we're doing. We're in the year 2020, and for the first time, we're doing remote instruction. So on this, I have all of the different classes I teach. Now, I'm super blessed. Some of you are in multiple classes of mine. Some of you are, in 4 classes in a row. I have some of my students more than once. So you'll go to different tabs depending on which class we're looking at. So I'm going to go ahead and pretend like I'm talking to all of my, say, US history classes. I know not all of you are in that, but a big chunk of you are. I teach that class 4 different times. So you'll go to remote instruction, you'll click on US history, and then each week I will have posted for you exactly what we're going to be doing that week and how we're going to continue along just like we have for this entire year. So week 7 is this week that's coming up. Your syllabus is going to be 1 week off because we changed our spring break, but we're still on the 7th week of instruction for the spring semester. And the topic of that is moving west. Now, Mia, for example, is going to be thrilled because I am going to do my very, very best to stay right on track with our syllabus so that topically we're covering what we should. Now, some of you know occasionally stuff will happen like the need to talk about the impeachment or different things going on that we end up diving deep into other stuff and not staying on the syllabus, but for here on out, we will stay on track. So Mia, I hope you are thrilled. When you come to this page, remember under remote instruction, under US history, each week it will tell you what we're going to do. So there will be a link, I haven't put it in yet because I haven't made it, but an instructional video where I'm teaching just like I do in class. And I will be able to draw on the website. I will be able to do our doodles. I know how much you guys like the doodles, so we'll be able to do those as well and continue on that way. So we'll have an instruction video there that will have doodles and everything just like I'm in class. Then US history will have 2 options to meet together as a class. Oh dear, my phone's ringing. We'll just ignore the phone for a minute. Mrs. Chappie's classes are going to have Zoom meetings only on Thursdays. Turn off, sorry about that, guys. We're going to have a lot of grace and a lot of patience as we navigate this together. So my Zoom meetings will occur on Thursdays. Each teacher has a different day. You're probably asking yourself, Mrs. Chappie, why can't we just do our meetings at our normal class time? And I would say to you, that is an excellent idea. And initially I thought we were going to do that. But when we vetted it out and we thought about how it would work, there are families that have maybe 3 kids, and 1 kid's in Mrs. Chappie's class, and 1 kid's in Mrs. Frederick's class, and 1 kid's in Mrs. Diggs' class. All 3 of us can't do our Zoom interactive teaching at the same time because many families may only have 1 laptop or 1 computer, so we can't have all 3 of our classes happening at the same time. So what we did is we assigned days to each teacher. So Mrs. Chappie, I get Thursdays, so my classes will meet on Thursdays. So on the website here, remember we're going to remote instruction, we're going to US history. There'll be a little thing here you click on Thursday, March 26th. If you're doing the 9 o'clock class, you click on that and it will take you right to our class meeting. I will also post, in addition to my video where I'm teaching, I will post some videos that you might like. Like for example, if we click on that, guess what's gonna happen? It's gonna be our fan favorite, internet slow, because everyone is using the internet and working from home right now. But it eventually is going to pop up, and guess what this is going to be? I know, you know, it's still spinning. This happens sometimes in class sometimes. It's coming, it's still spinning. I practiced this ahead of time and I promised it worked right away. It's a commercial. We don't really care about the commercial. But here comes our video. There, skip ad. And what is it? You don't recognize the song because we haven't done it yet, but who is that? None other but our favorite, Mr. Betts. And so you'll be able to listen to Mr. Betts. Okay, so you will have all of the same videos that we would do in class that reinforce whatever it was that I taught on will be linked here. So we'll have some fun Mr. Betts videos, And then in our notebook, I will specifically lay out what you should be doing in your history binder. I did a better job. I'm still building this out, but I did a better job in California history, for example. California history has all of these worksheets that tie with the topic, California becomes a state. So I hope that kind of makes sense. I think it's going to be super easy. I think you guys are going to like it because it will be some different way to interact. And below in this email, your parents have some more details on what your specific class will be doing, because I've just figured out I teach a pile of different classes and they're all going to be a little bit different. What I most think will be kind of cool is my ability to use this doodle screen. Are you ready for this? So I can talk and teach just like we were in the classroom. And if you're in my US history class and I happen to draw this, Sophia said, Mrs. Chappie, if we learn remotely, I'm not very good at it, but will you still do your cool doodles? And I said, Sophia, no worries. Of course I will do my cool doodles. Maybe my doodles are going to need some help. But if I were to draw this for any of my California or my US history students, in theory, you know exactly what that means. It's pretty sad looking. My doodles, I think, will improve. But tell your parents what that is. You should look at that and recognize it right away and go, cotton is king. I know exactly what you're talking about, Mrs. Chappie. So you will get instruction, you'll get interaction, you will get your worksheets, and it's not as great as being together. I wish that I could look at you and talk to you and be one-on-one with you, but in this time, this is what we're going to do. And I'm happy that we live in a time in our society that we have this technology and we can do this. So stay inside, keep washing your hands, and I look forward to seeing you guys all as soon as we can be back together. Take care. Bye.